Welcome to the Insider Texas Tech Super Preview. I'm Jarret Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Mighty Joe, man, this Texas Tech baseball program, wow, super impressive, obviously. I mean, look, they're 2 wins away from what would be their 4th trip to Omaha in 6 seasons. They host a very familiar foe in the Oklahoma State Cowboys. You were there, or both of us were there for some games, but you were there for those big wins over Dallas Baptist that helped the Red Raiders sweep the local regional, the Lubbock Regional. So what's your overall impression from how the Red Raiders performed last weekend?
Boy, I mean, when you got pitching like that, what else do you need? I mean, that's in the starters, and the bullpen guys, middle relievers, closer, McMillan coming in there. Didn't even see Beater. But everybody they put out there on the mound was just flat out sterling. And so, that gives you a chance to do an awful lot. Now, you only, in the 2 games that I saw, Tech only scored 6 runs, but they won, and except for that first game against Dallas Baptist, there wasn't too much sweating. I mean, they were really in control, and the second one against those guys. And so, and that pitching, has been consistent, I think, over the last part of the season. As long as it continues to roll like that, and then the bats come around a little bit, you're going to be very, very dangerous when you get to Omaha. And I do believe we're talking when, not if. I think they're definitely, they're on their way.
Tech and Oklahoma State, I mean, they're the number 8 and number 9 ranked teams in the country, so obviously they're really good. But they've really been 2 of the hotter teams in the entire country down the stretch. I mean, you kind of mentioned it. The pitchers have been very good for Texas Tech later in the season. Really since that Baylor series, really when Josh Young moved from third to short, this has been a different team. And they've been just crushing almost everybody they've played, including Oklahoma State, who has pretty much dominated everybody else they've played other than getting swept here in Lubbock by Texas Tech. So, and speaking of that, the Red Raiders have really owned Oklahoma State the last couple of seasons. They've won 7 in a row. They swept them last year in Stillwater, and then they beat them in the Big 12 tournament. They've won 8 of the last 10 over the last 3 years. But here you go, you have Oklahoma State, who's gone out to like Oregon State and swept them late in the season. They won the Big 12 tournament. Tech won the Big 12 regular season title. Oklahoma State won the Big 12 tournament. So, I mean, I think it's really close, but I'm wondering how much the fact that Tech has dominated the series could play a part this weekend, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, it gives Tech a psychological advantage. I don't think there's any question about that. And I think also Oklahoma State, except for maybe that Oregon State series, hadn't been that great on the road. I believe they're right around 500 this year on the road. And this is not an easy place to come out here and win, particularly in this situation. So I think those intangibles definitely line up on Texas Tech's side here. And they're just going to have a trouble scoring runs. I mean, they scored 8 runs in the series against Texas Tech, which comes out to, 2.75 per game or something like that?
I was told there would be no math, Joe.
Well, I'm sure I'm wrong. I probably can't even add 2 and 2 and 3. I think that's 8. No, it's the hell with it. The point is, they weren't scoring too much against Texas Tech earlier in the year, and Tech basically owned that series. And I don't see that really changing here. Oklahoma State is a team, it's a power hitting team. They get an awful lot of their runs off of home runs. And Tech has only allowed 26 home runs this season. They are really, really good at keeping the ball in the park. So if they're not slapping it out of the park, they're not going to score a lot. And you got to figure Texas Tech can manufacture just enough that they're going to be able to handle these guys. I think it could be a sweep.
I want to talk about 2 guys who are usually key in manufacturing those runs for the Red Raiders. A couple individuals here. Cam Warren, what a great series he had. A home run in each of the 3 games, each of the 3 wins. Just a tremendous performer for Texas Tech all season long. The lone senior on the team, first baseman. What stood out, obviously, other than the obvious power about Cam? What stood out about his performance?
Josh Young won Big 12 Player of the Year honors. I think him and Warren are the 2 best players in the Big 12. I think you could go either way. And Warren is a solid glove out there as well. He doesn't, he handles his business there at first base. And so I think maybe Young is spectacular as a defensive player. He was tremendous as a shortstop. As a third baseman, and he looks just as good as a shortstop. there's a reason he went where he went in the draft, right?
That's my next
You know?
topic here after this.
Yeah. So, but Cam and Josh Young, I mean, they're as good as it gets in the Big 12. And that home run that he hit in the final game of the regionals there.
Yeah.
Was very impressive because he kind of golfed that ball.
He did. He actually went down to it.
He almost fell.
Yeah, he did.
He almost fell, and he reached down and scooped that ball and just lined it right out of the park. I mean, that takes power.
Yeah.
That's a powerful man up there. So, yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. You always expect some fireworks when he gets up there to the plate.
And you mentioned Young. I just want to give him props. He was selected number 8 by the Texas Rangers, number 8 overall. Now, top 10. That's some serious scratch coming his way, Joe, which I don't think is a surprise to anybody. But when you're drafted top 10, that's next level, you know. So it's not like the NBA. I mean, whether he makes it to the majors or not, which I think he has a very good shot for the Rangers, he's getting paid fat. You know, he's going to be very soon. He's going to be a very rich man. So congratulations to Josh Young on being selected and getting to stay in Texas. You know, San Antonio native. Went to Texas Tech. He's really hitting all over the state. So congratulations to Josh. I mean, of course, he's big time, has deserved it. Great, fantastic sophomore year. And like you said, All-American and Big 12 Player of the Year this season. So congratulations, Josh. Great stuff from you, Mighty Joe, as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.